we're gonna celebrate. So whatever you're sipping on, or some of you, if you smoke, whatever substances, maybe it's some weed or some cigars. Hell, even if you got a cigarette or two, we are going to definitely celebrate this stupid. I'll say stupid, but this witch hunt that has been going on with in regards to Deshaun Watson is finally over, and now he can continue his career, because you can't try and fail to sue the man and then go to criminal court, and then the jury, not the judge, the jury like, yeah, we not buying this. So we definitely go. Look, Twitter is upset right now. Twitter is angry. Twitter is in their emotions. Loud and clear. Says very clear. Okay. Yeah. Because I was scouting. I did my research. Okay. Or microphone had to make sure. But I'm telling you right now, man, we celebrating. Shout out to everybody that's here on this Friday night. We definitely celebrating. It's a celebration up in here. They tried to come after the black man, and the black man won. Shout out to Deshaun Watson. Shout out to his white lawyers, Rusty Harden. The guy, he's very good at what he does. He's very good at what he does, man. Man, the feminists are angry. The white feminists are angry. The SJWs, okay? You lost Negroes is upset. But this is about to be a party. They're attacking Adam Schefter. Because Adam Schefter, shout out to Zeke. Appreciate that. It's a celebration. Exactly. I don't care what none of y'all weak-minded individuals say on Twitter. It matters not. And I tweeted about this. I said, you know what? Deshaun Watson lost in the court of public opinion, but he won in the only court that matters. This is basically what I said was Deshaun Watson, he basically is innocent in the only court that matters. Shout out to Trevon as well. So y'all can be mad all you want to. But he's going to continue his football career. He's probably going to get traded soon. He might even sign a massive extension because the guy's a heck of a player. So y'all could be upset all you want to. Listen, Juicy went to jail. Now that's the person that's guilty. If anybody is guilty, it is Jussie. Jussie is very guilty, and he's right where he should be. When you try to, lie and make up things and try to stir up division, even the mayor, even one of your fellow alphabet community members turned on you and said that you deserve to be in jail. Jussie, that's what she said. She said you deserve to be in jail. Shout out to Jamie St. Patrick. Let's have a Zoom meeting in Magic City to celebrate our brother's success. Hey, man, that would be a heck of a Zoom meeting at Magic City. Absolutely. Or the King of Diamonds.
Let's have a Zoom meeting in Magic City to celebrate our brother's success. Full score look of triumph.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Shout out to everybody that knew that this whole thing is nonsense. I'm not saying that some of the things that have come out didn't happen. Do I think that Deshaun Watson has a weird need for a masseuse? Yes. But they're acting like this guy was forcing himself on these women, which he was not. And the jury saw through that. These women, I think, tried to make it more than what it is because they thought they was going to get paid. Now, I don't think any of them have gotten paid. But nonetheless, he right now, I mean, he still has to go through some legal stuff as far as the civil suits is concerned, but this definitely doesn't help the civil suits unless the jury said, well, they're going to get paid anyway. But let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. See who's here. Taurus, Gerald, Lady K, B Fierce, what's up? Robert, Lee, Jim Johnson, what's good? Booker, J Jones, Zeke, I'm him. Sabat, Bronxide, BM, Dan, Last Sigil, Trill, Falcon DX, Eric, Arthur, Maul, MC, Brian, STFU, J Mir, see, Jamie, John, Fari, Hugo, what's up? Yeah, Chris Brown has been, let's get the likes up too, man. Let's get the likes up too. You know, Chris Brown has recently, he basically destroyed the female lying on him. See, that's what you have to do, unfortunately. You know, us as men, especially men with something to lose, we have to have receipts. Because without receipts, you cannot catch these people in a lie. And you want to catch these people in a lie. You know. Now, I want to go over some of the particulars. We're going to have comments from Deshaun Watson as well. And we're going to get into what's going on with Deshaun Watson and why I feel like Deshaun Watson, things could be learned from this, of course, with Deshaun. I think that he's not a guy who's perfect. I think that he's a guy who has made mistakes. I think this is a guy that may have a problem when it comes to masseuses. But I do think they tried to railroad him. Because if this was an open secret that he enjoyed getting massages, especially from women, why did it take when he wanted to leave Houston for all of this to come out? All of this leaks out when he wants to leave Houston? Does that make any sense? You know, honestly, when it comes to, Deshaun Watson, I think this is a guy who definitely got a wake-up call. Hopefully he did. Because it's clear that something went wrong in those interactions, but it didn't go to the point to where those women were trying to take it. I think those women saw an opportunity to try to cash in on what he was doing or what they wanted people to believe he did to them, and it still hasn't worked out for them. All the way to it being a criminal case. Now, if this situation was as bad as Twitter is making it out to be, then he would have not basically had this whole case dismissed. It's because the jury, not the judge, the jury said, you know what, I'm not buying this. I'm just not. They're not buying it. And what I would tell to a lot of men is keep your interactions with women that you don't have some type of relationship with to a minimum. Unless it's for business or whatever, because you could be alone with a woman and she could leave that interaction and she can say anything about you. She could say that you did something to her and you wouldn't even know it. Because people are going to be quick to believe what women say. You know what's very interesting? I wonder where all this energy was when Chad Wheeler pummeled his girlfriend to the point to where he thought his girlfriend had died. Where was all this energy? If you look at what Deshaun Watson is being accused of, he did not force himself, for the most part, on them. Like, he didn't force himself on those women that would warrant all of the vitriol that he is getting. Now, I heard some of the details that were put out there by the media. And there were weird details. There were things like that those women were actually asked to do to him. It wasn't a situation where he was just taking it. So I believe that's why the jury came to the decision that they came to. But where was all this energy for Chad Wheeler? A guy who thought that he had pummeled his girlfriend to the point where she lost her life. We haven't heard from Chad Wheeler since. This guy could still be in the NFL for all we know because they don't care. And listen, I don't want to have to bring race into it, but let's just be real. When a black athlete does something, it is going to be magnified by 10 times. There was a NFL player who recently got cleared of charges. He was released from his team. I believe he might have been a first-round pick. Now, hopefully, and I believe he's going to get another opportunity in the NFL, but this is what happens when you're a black athlete. An accusation can cost you your job, can get you blackballed from the NFL. This vitriol that these people have for black athletes is crazy.
Deshaun needs to stick with the Asian parlors if he wants to be about that life. They bout it shushing face.
Yeah, allegedly. They are about it. Jamie, appreciate that, man. They are about it. Absolutely are. Right? Yeah, Jeff Gladney, right. And you know what's crazy? I was going to write an article on my blog about it because I know I'm back to blogging. Shout out to everybody that went over to the website today. Because I like to type out certain things. I used to do it back in the day, but I was going to really format in words so everybody can see it about how these people on social media.
For saying what most want say. Keep up the good work, biceps.
Appreciate that, STFU. Thanks, man. There were some people, there was some liberal Caucasian males that went on Twitter. This is how I know a lot of these people are hypocrites. And these dudes were listing off black athletes that were accused of domestic disputes. They were accused of assaults. I did not see Chad Wheeler's name. What they were doing was because there was an NFL player who recently got banned for a year for gambling. And in response to that, they go and they list all these black athletes that have been accused of various things. Ray Rice was at the top of that list. And they were sharing his tweets like it was the truth. And I'm saying, where's Chad Wheeler's name? Why is his name ain't up there? Ray Rice didn't play another game in the NFL after his incident. Ray Rice, Calvin Ridley. It was Calvin Ridley. Ray Rice did not play another down in the NFL. Him and his wife, the woman that was in the video that everybody felt sorry for, she not only married him, but I believe to this day they are still together. You know why? Because I think in her mind, she feels responsible for what happened. Because in that video, they both were drunk and she was acting out. She was. And I think she feels at least partly responsible for why this whole thing blew up the way it did. And they're still together. He never played it down in the NFL ever again. But you got guys like Chad Wheeler who could beat the crap out of his girlfriend to the point to where he thought she had died and he went and ate. But you don't hear a peep about him ever. And you're starting to see guys who are accused of domestic violence, one by one, they end up being found to be innocent. It just reminds me of the Zeke Elliott situation. They were ready to cancel Zeke Elliott, even though, guess what? There was proof that she premeditated the whole thing and that she wanted to ruin that man's career. But nobody says anything. Like with Chris Brown. Chris Brown could have lost a lot due to a woman's false allegations. You see, us as black men, we get it worse in the media. They come after us worse in the media. You know why? Because we are the pinatas of society. That's why we do what we do. We live our life the way we want to live it. We date who we want to date. We go where we want to go because we already know people are against us. We already know that we're going to have to fight battles on multiple fronts. It's a lot of these black women that are now starting to feel that. We've been dealing with that for decades. It's easy to point the finger at a black man. Look at Michael Vick. You still got a bunch of delusional, crazy, liberal women who still are attacking Michael Vick, even though he did time in prison. Right, Reuben Foster. It's another guy who got caught up in a woman's BS. You do have some men out here who commit horrible, unspeakable things to women, but you have even more that get falsely accused. Because when a woman knows that you have something to lose, she's going to destroy you. That's why as a man, especially as a black man, you have to have self-awareness. And you have to filter out women in your life that could destroy you. You have to do it. Because if you don't, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be another statistic. That's what you're going to be. They're going to come after us because it's easy to come after a black man. And you know what's crazy? There are Caucasian women who know Caucasian men that are abusive, but then they will still come at black men. Why do you think that is? Because they need Caucasian men. So they do their best to try not to throw them under the bus. They'll talk about white male privilege, but that's a power play. When it comes to domestic violence, they want black men to be the face of it. And I refuse to be the face of it. And every time one of these heifers lie, I'm going to speak about it. You're not going to continue to try to ruin and degrade our image and think that me and other men who speak on similar things are just going to stand for it. You heifers are going to be checked. And I don't care if you're mad or not. Deshaun Watson went to court. He had his day in court. And the jury said, nah, we're not going to try this. That's what's going on here. Shout out to everybody here, man. Black men have to deal, especially black athletes, they have to deal with the BS in the media. You even breathe on a woman wrong. He's an assaulter. He needs to be canceled. He needs to be released. They're just abusing women without even hearing his side of the story. When y'all see them try to go at white men, it's a power play. They love and appreciate and respect white men. I'm talking about you white feminists. Y'all talk all that white privilege BS, but you date nothing but white men or other women. You're just about getting power. But ultimately, you're going to stand shoulder to shoulder with Caucasian men. Salute to everybody that's here. That's where we at. Deshaun Watson didn't do nothing. Because a jury found him to be credible and innocent. And a lot of you people need to get over it, okay? You need to get over it. He's innocent. Y'all ready to criminalize an innocent man, but it's nothing different. They've been criminalizing, black men for decades. It's nothing new to these people. It's easy to come after us. but they don't confront the monsters in their own communities. You got all these people from all these different communities that want to attack black men. But look at the monsters in your community. What about the monsters in your community? Let's look at this article from CNN. This is the first time in probably years I've read a CNN article because I believe they're full of shit. Just so y'all know, Texas grand jury declines to charge NFL quarterback Deshaun Watson. A Harris County grand jury has declined to charge Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson over allegations of harassment and sexual misconduct. Harris County Division Chief of Adult Sex Crimes and Trafficking, Jonna Stallings, said after court they presented 9 criminal complaints, but the grand jury chose not to indict the NFL star. Prosecutors presented evidence and interviewed witnesses for more than 6 hours. We respect the grand jury's decision. Shout out to Carlton Ellis. Appreciate that, man. Adding, it concludes the criminal proceedings in Harris County. Watson told reporters outside his attorney's office that justice was served. It's definitely a very emotional moment for me. I know we're far from being done of handling what we need to handle legally, Watson said. I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for letting the truth be heard. The quarterback said he is ready to get back on the field. Watson still faces 22 civil lawsuits, many alleging sexual assault and misconduct. Rusty Hardin, Watson's lead attorney, said in a statement he is delighted with the grand jury's decision. Deshaun Watson did not commit any crimes and is not guilty of any offenses. Now that the criminal investigation has been completed, we are happy to move forward with the civil case depositions. Hardin said, we will vigorously defend those cases with every ounce we have. That's why Rusty's one of the best, man. He defended Roger Clemens when they came after Roger Clemens years ago. Attorney Tony, but now this is the jackass here. Tony Busby. I made a video speaking about him. He's the guy that brought all this to the attention of the public. Attorney Tony Busby, who represents the 22 women who have filed civil claims against Watson, said the criminal cases are separate from civil. Yeah, because he gets paid from the civil cases. That's why, like, if let's say 22 of those women get paid, he's going to get a piece of all those cases. The civil cases will continue to gather steam. We take Mr. Watson's depot again Tuesday. Busby said in an email, we have to respect the process because he's in it for the money. He ain't trying to help them women. He's trying to get paid. Of course he's going to respect the process because he knew Deshaun Watson would not be charged. He knew Deshaun wasn't going to be charged because Deshaun did not physically assault those women in the manner that would waste taxpayers' dollars.
I live in Houston and we're glad he won. Once he win his civil case, he should countersue for defamation of character.
Appreciate that, Greg Brown. Shout out to Houston.
I'm so glad Chris Brown kept his receipts.
I agree, Till Dog. Thanks, man. Watson is an NFL superstar, having been selected to 3 Pro Bowls in his 5 seasons with the Houston Texans. He did not play during the 2021 season because of investigation allegations. According to Spot Track website, Watson signed a 4-year, $156 million contract in 2020. He's probably going to make more of that when he goes to a new team. Now this is the video of him giving his statement here. So let's check it out. All right. Like the stream.
It's definitely a very emotional moment for me. I know we're far from being done of handling what we need to handle on the legal side, but today is definitely a big day, and I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for, letting the truth be heard. And I thank everyone that was a part of this, of seeing and hearing both sides.
Shout out to Rodney Lewis. Thanks, man.
And that's what my point and my team wanted to do is have a fair slate of us telling our side of the story, and letting the conclusion come down to what happened today, and that's what the grand jury decided on. So, yeah, thank you, and I thank my Lord and Savior. And just
oh yeah, shout out to Bronx side Jones with the cash out. Hold on, we got cash out. So hold on. Oh. Yeah, shout out to Bronx side with the cash out. Appreciate that.
Fighting to rebuild my name and rebuild my appearance in the community, and we're going to continue to, on the legal side, off the field, handle what we need to handle, but also ready to get back on the field, been prepping for that, and ready to go for that. So thank my family, all my close supporters that's been behind me this past year. Thank my team that's been behind me and supporting me and keeping me up this past year. And yeah, I'm going to continue to just keep pushing forward and build my name back to where it was, if not better.
Well, I think he could definitely be on track for that, because this is absolutely ridiculous.
I'm from Houston too, and Busby and the owner are next door neighbors and friends.
Yes, they are, Rodney. That's why I feel like the ownership knew this. I think ownership already knew that there could be women targeting Deshaun Watson for a lawsuit. And I think that it's no coincidence that Deshaun Watson did not want to be there. And then all of a sudden, all these allegations have come out of nowhere from Tony Busby. I don't trust lawyers, especially lawyers that don't represent me. But I don't trust a lot of these lawyers. They're liars. They are professional, educated liars.
There is no such thing as equality for straight black men, nor love togetherness, even having his own race of women. It's all lies. We are at the bottom in this society. Facts. Bible warn us about women, never warn women about men.
Appreciate that, Carlton. And I think that a lot of men should understand that. A lot of men should be a lot more picky about the women they give their energy to. But some of these guys are so thirsty that they will choose the absolute most toxic women to deal with. And then when that woman turns on them, they're shocked. Like, you didn't think that woman was toxic, bruh? Everybody could have told you that. Or
watch
probably
him be
tried
the new
to tell you
QB
that.
for the Seahawks.
He might be, Maul. I think he'd fit well up there. I mean, he definitely would have to scramble a lot behind that offensive line. They needed this. I think Deshaun Watson would be equal to, maybe even a little bit better than Russell Wilson at quarterback, because he's going to be taller. He's going to be a lot more. I say a lot more, but just as a passer, I think the guy with that team, I think, could do some damage in that division too. That's not the strongest division. I mean, they have some good teams, but anyway, let's watch the video again.
Definitely a very emotional moment for me. I know we're far from being done of handling what we need to handle on the legal side, but today is definitely a big day, and I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for letting the truth be heard, and I thank everyone that was a part of this, of seeing and hearing both sides. That's what my point and my team wanted to do is have a fair slate of us telling our side of the story, and letting the conclusion come down to what happened today, and that's what the grand jury decided on. So yeah, thank you, and I thank my Lord and Savior, and just gonna keep fighting to rebuild my name and rebuild my appearance in the community, and we're going to continue to, on the legal side, off the field, handle what we need to handle, but also ready to get back on the field, been prepping for that, and ready to go for that. So thank my family, all my close supporters that's been behind me this past year. Thank my team that's been behind me and supporting me and keeping me up this past year. And I'm going to continue to just keep pushing forward and build my name back to where it was, if not better.
I think Deshaun Watson should go on a interview tour. I think that Deshaun needs to do some interviews because, the more you speak about your innocence, the more it's going to get out there. And the more that you're going to be able to battle this cancel culture, these people that say, I'm going to believe all women. Well, women lie too. Women lie a lot. So I would love to see him do some interviews where he can speak about why he's innocent and why he feels like he was railroaded. Because I know deep down he probably feels like it was because of his situation with the Houston Texans. But he probably won't say that publicly because he wants to get traded, one, and he doesn't want the situation to get worse because you never know, man. Some people will do crazy things to you, if you speak out. Look at what's going on with Houston, Texas. You mean to tell me that this guy was dealing with these masseuses and all this stuff, whatever was going on, and the attorney next to the owner, gets, all these women coming for it. Like, you just never know, man. You just never know, There are women who flat out lie on men, and there's proof that the woman is lying, but she will still act like it's the truth. Look at Jussie. It's an example of a woman out here lying. Told you, these women be lying. I told you, man, these heifers be lying, man. These heifers be lying. Shout out to everybody that's here. Like the stream, people. We are here on this Friday. Social media is melting down, especially Twitter. He's guilty. They're attacking Adam Schefter. Anybody with a brain that knows what's going on here. The Falcons, I think he might be a good fit with those receivers in Atlanta. Well, they only got one now. Oh, Calvin Ridley's gone, so they really don't have anybody except for the tight end. They got a promising tight end, though. Right, he did. He played at Clemson. Didn't hear anything about him there.
Cuz Robert Kraft's masseuse escapade was brushed right under the rug.
Oh, of course. Robert Kraft, he's a good guy. He's an older gentleman just out here just doing a little bit too much, Shout out to William Cartwright. Deshaun needs to be able to move on with his life. He needs to be able to have a career, rebuild his reputation. Listen, Kobe did it. Kobe, once again, another black athlete that was ready to destroy his life and career. So it's possible for him to regain what he's lost. But he's going to deal with the Michael Vick effect. And when I talk about the Michael Vick effect, it's when you did something that hurt people's feelings and it follows you for the rest of your life. Michael Vick in dogfighting, even though he never physically fought any dogs, there are going to be a segment of people, especially middle-class liberal women, that are always going to hate Michael Vick. Michael Vick wasn't able to get a coaching job because those heifers in Kansas City didn't want him coaching for the Chiefs. But why aren't you heifers going at the head coach's son who got in that accident that I believe took a young girl's life, I believe, or put in the hospital? Why aren't you women protesting about him not being in jail? And I believe he's still working with the team. Salute to everybody that's here. I call it the Michael Vick effect. A black athlete, whenever he does something, it follows him for the rest of his life. They are still mad that Bill Cosby is out of prison. But Bill Cosby shouldn't be in prison. Bill Cosby is an innocent man, and he should be able to be with his wife and family, and he should not be incarcerated. There are people who are free today who've done way worse than what Bill Cosby was accused of. Y'all haven't tried once to put them in jail. Hollywood is full of weirdos, but because they talk about feminism and they talk about being woke, y'all don't look in their direction. Like these weird Caucasian people with Black Lives Matter in their profiles. Y'all don't see the weird energy coming from white people with Black Lives Matter in their profile. You're weird. And you probably don't even have white friends. Black friends. And if black people move to your neighborhood, you're moving out. You just want to be woke for Twitter. But we know you don't like black people unless they work for you or unless you're giving them a handout. Any Caucasian person with Black Lives Matter in their bio needs to be avoided at all costs. They're weirdos, and they probably have said the N-word a lot in their life, and they're trying to keep you off the scent. It's that guilt. It ain't just white guilt. It's racist guilt. Those people are probably racist. Those people are probably racist. That's why. That racist guilt. Bigot guilt. No, damn well you don't like black people. Be quiet. Shut up. Black Lives Matter. What a joke. Black people move to your neighborhood. You ready to move. White Flight 2.0. These fake ass black allies. You're nothing more than weirdos. Some of you are probably surfing for Black Disick or trying to get with a sister. Just weird. This weird energy coming from those people look unhealthy, and they're always atheists, which means they're probably cuckoo. Virtue signaling. But you say one thing wrong to them and that racism comes out.
There is a woman named Hudak that writes for the Saints that is comparing this to Bree Taylor and saying the court system fails women.
Wow.
It's a white WOM.
Oh, well, that makes sense. She probably doesn't even like black men. You see, you have white women that don't like black men, and they will use any opportunity that they can to attack a black man. They use every opportunity that they can to attack a black man. That's what these heifers do. That's why I don't trust a lot of these Caucasian chicks. Because they will pretend like they support black people, but they always using situations to attack black men who are more successful than them, make more money than them, and they hate that. These white women have to look in the mirror and be white and still a failure. How you white and a failure? you're at a mid level. You're very mid. You ain't as successful as these black men. And I think it bothers them too. It bothers these Caucasian heifers that they're not as successful as these black athletes. Because these women chose Caucasian men that will never be as successful as Deshaun Watson. And they feel some type of way. They feel like they're a failure because they're white and they're still mid. They're still not making money. They're still failures.
Feminists are losing their damn minds all over Twitter right now. SHM.
Shout out to Ernest. Yeah, I see. They're attacking anybody that is saying Deshaun Watson is innocent and that is not mad at Deshaun Watson. They're attacking everybody. That's why I'm glad I'm not beholden to corporate media whatsoever. I would not want to be a celebrity nowadays. I've been done got canceled because I'm not going to sit here and live in fear just to make money. I want to have my own opinions. I want to be able to think for myself and not have to deal with these weirdos. Shout out to John Rambro. Appreciate that, man. Like, you got these weird Caucasian people, man. They're the main ones upset. These feminists, you know. And everybody's believing these women. Everybody's believing these women. The jury said no. The jury doesn't believe them. The jury is like, it's not enough. Did he assault those women? The black man is innocent, and they're mad because there will be no black man going to prison or doing jail time over this. He might not even pay no money. He might not even have to pay these others. They always want to sacrifice a black man, especially a black athlete, at the altar of cancel culture. And no, it ain't happening today. He's going to have a thriving career. It don't matter what y'all say on Twitter. Most of you people are mentally ill anyway. Why would I sit here and care about a mentally ill person who gets up every day and hates themselves and don't even want to be on earth anymore? Why would I listen or care what those people have to say? Put what link in the chat, JJ? What link are you talking about? I seen one of the girls get interviewed. You could smell the cap. The jury could smell the cap too. That's why they did not charge him. But you still got these weirdos who want to believe he's guilty. And they really didn't like the fact that he spoke about Jesus Christ. You know why? Because a lot of y'all are weird atheists. You look crazy. You look demented. You have no soul. And I'm not talking about all atheists. I'm talking about you weirdo, liberal, social justice people. You know? Y'all trying to destroy this man's life just because a woman said it. The call link. I haven't taken calls yet. I didn't know if I was or not. Let's once again hear what the great Deshaun Watson had to say. A man who's innocent in the only court that matters.
Definitely a very emotional moment for me. I know we're far from being done of handling what we need to handle on the legal side, but today is definitely a big day, and I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for, letting the truth be heard, and I thank everyone that was a part of this, of seeing and hearing both sides. That's what my point and my team wanted to do, is have a fair slate of us telling our side of the story, and letting the conclusion come down to what happened today, and that's what the grand jury decided on. So, thank you, and I thank my Lord and Savior, and just gonna keep fighting.
I know Maynard, and I appreciate them.
Rebuild my name and rebuild my appearance in the community, and we're going to continue to, on the legal side, off the field, handle what we need to handle, but also ready to get back on the field, been prepping for that, and ready to go for that. So thank my family, all my close supporters that's been behind me this past year. Thank my team that's been behind me and supporting me and keeping me up this past year, and I'm going to continue to just keep pushing forward and build my name back to where it was, if not better.
If he was, I'm telling y'all right now, man, if he was Caucasian, he would not be dealing with all this that he's been dealing with. Black athletes are always targets because they're black, they're male, and they're rich. And a lot of them are unmarried. They're unmarried. They're bachelors. They hate men who are bachelors anyway, especially like single black men with money. That's why he's getting the vitriol. They never have smoke for men who look like them, who do things. No. Oh, that happened? Oh my God. these people are, it's time for people to stop being afraid of these weirdos and start understanding that, yes, you can fight back for your reputation, your career. It's all about the money at the end of the day. This lawyer, Tony Busby, is about his money. Those women are about their money. That's why they're private masseuses, because private masseuses make more money than somebody that's working in a massage, just a regular, massage business where you have to go to them. They're doing private massages in the homes of the people they go to. If you feel uncomfortable, record them. That's what these women should do. But they didn't do that because they're in front. They're with an NFL player. Are they saying that, if he would have tried to date them, do y'all think this would all be going on? It's just like when these Instagram models, right? When they try to expose athletes, y'all notice they only do that with men they've never gotten into a relationship with. It was always a physical relationship. They were a side chick, but they were never the girlfriend, right? They were never the girlfriend. It's because they're no longer with that guy. They don't gain anything. They're not gaining anything. They didn't get anything out of it for the most part. So the last ditch effort to gain something from that interaction is to put the guy on blast. That's their one way of trying to get something. If these women wanted justice, they would not be suing him. Because remember, they tried to sue him before he actually went to court for anything else. No, okay. I would say they tried to get something done as far as the lawsuits before this went to trial. So let me just say that before this went to trial, Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger was accused by multiple women of being inappropriate. That was a story for a little while, and then it went away. And he was able to go into retirement as if nothing happened. Ben Roethlisberger did not get the smoke that Deshaun Watson did. Because one, he was married with a family, so he had a wife, okay? And I do think that there are women who are sympathetic to other women who are married to men and have children with that man who's accused of these things that have a lot to lose. Because if he loses those things, she loses those things. And number two, let's be real. He was a Caucasian guy I believe he's from the Midwest. And he's from the East Coast. Excuse me. I think he's from the East Coast. And there were a lot of people who sympathized with that as well. I don't think he settled anything. I might be wrong. I know people saying, well, Jaye, you're playing a race card. In this situation, it definitely applies. It definitely applies. When you are a man who people can empathize with, you're going to get a pass. Nobody can empathize with Deshaun Watson on anything. Not even the fact that he comes from a single parent household that struggled. His family got help from Ward Dunn. Ward Dunn had a project where he would build homes for single mothers. His mother was a recipient of that. And Deshaun Watson screwed up by having these private massages with these women, not understanding that they can say anything about that interaction that can get him caught up. And that was his mistake. It was settled very, very quietly. Okay, I can believe that. Ben Roethlisberger's made a lot of money, and that did go away. Yeah, he was suspended for some games, but he didn't have to sit out an entire season. They hate single men, especially single black men who are making a lot of money, who don't have a wife at home that they have to go to and give their money to. That's why you guys need to record these private interactions. If you're gonna have these private massages, which I would listen. If you need a woman to massage you that bad, date a woman that can do massages. Stop hiring these randoms. Stop hiring these randoms to come to your house and massage you, because this is the situation you're going to end up in. So hopefully Deshaun Watson gets it. Hopefully Deshaun Watson understands this and he doesn't make this mistake again. I would definitely hope that he doesn't make this mistake again, but you never know. You want to have receipts. You want to catch these people lying. You don't want to be caught in a bad spot. And that's what he was. He was caught in a bad spot. He didn't have his ducks in a row. He was totally unprepared. Bro, you didn't think that these women could make accusations on you? You're an athlete, bro, with a lot of money. You're going to be a target. You're going to be a target, man. Shout out to everybody that's here. I appreciate y'all being here on this Friday. Let me take some phone calls from some people. Let's keep the calls brief, people, okay? Let's keep them brief. All right, see what y'all have to say about this. Also, make sure you are subscribed to, well, you have to be subscribed to, I believe, chatting here. But subscribe to the other channels as well. Sign up for the Patreon too. I put up exclusive content over there. Hold on.
Keep doing what you doing. Deshaun been innocent. He deserve a massive apology from the media.
Right, D-Hawk, appreciate that. Well, I mean, if a grand jury says that they're not going to try your case, then I do think he does deserve that. Because if a man can't be found guilty in court, what are you suing him for? What do you think he's going to get out of a lawsuit? If a grand jury themselves say, you know what, we don't think he's guilty, so we can't enforce any type of punishment because we don't think he's guilty. Okay, I'm having some. All right. Yeah, you don't want to get caught like that, man. He got caught completely off guard. Maybe he didn't think that these women would make accusations towards him, but now you know, bro. Now you know, man. You just can't trust people like that. Unfortunately, you just can't. You can't trust people like that. Those people will try to get something out of you eventually. Yo, what's going on? Hello? Let me make sure the audio is right. You there?
Yeah, what's up, Jay?
Yeah, what's up, man?
I think black athletes and entertainers go through this more than white entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, there's no punishment when women do this to them.
Right. No.
And I noticed this. Like, whenever, like, a black guy is accused of something, like, especially white people, they immediately think he's guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he did it. It's no like we're not giving no like reasonable doubt. Like,
yeah, especially like the number 22. 22 women. Like, you mean to tell me that 22 women were able for as long as they did hold on to whatever it is they were holding on to, and then all of a sudden at one opportunity that lawyer was able to gather all those women together? It's almost like any woman that had an interaction with him had something to say about him. That's what it seems like.
And all of them got the same lawyer. One of them didn't say, "Hey, look, I don't like this lawyer. I'm gonna try a different one." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He got all of them. Like, I was watching the Chris Brown story, right, when they first broke, and like I was watching some white media station. I don't remember which one, but like the comment section, everybody was like, "I could see it. He did it, whatever." And I'm commenting back like, "Man, Chris Brown got to beat women off with a stick, dude."
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't feel drugged. He don't got to do that shit.
Yeah, I don't think Chris has to do that. Those women love Chris Brown, you know. And the thing is, the woman that was accusing him wanted to see him again. He just didn't want to see her.
Yeah, he was ghosting her. She sounded thirsty as hell, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would be brief, bro. I know you got other callers. Okay. I appreciate your time, man.
All right, man. Well, thanks for the calling, man.
No doubt, man. Peace.
Peace. And people want to act like women don't lie. Women lie all the time. You see, when you don't hold women accountable, they think they can get away with lying. See, if you hold women accountable, we can avoid these lies, okay? We can avoid all this. You got women that will call the police on a man just to see if it just because they think it'll be funny. Just to win an argument, they'll say, "Well, I'll call the police on you," knowing full well that dude lives with you. He has nowhere else to go, so he either gonna have to either get arrested or he's gonna have to get out of there. Even though y'all claim to hate the police, but y'all call them. These women out here lying on these men, and they're getting caught up. They're getting exposed. They're getting exposed. Y'all, you know, these females want to lie because they're in their feelings or they're hurt or they think they're gonna get some money. They need to be exposed, man. We can't allow these lying ass women to be given any type of sympathy, to be given any type of monetary gain from this. That's why a grand jury says, no, we're not going to prosecute this case. This will be a waste of taxpayers' dollars. And we're just not interested. We don't see where he committed any crime. Where was the crime? We know we listening to the testimony, but either those women aren't coming off as believable, or they're listening to what happened. They're saying, "Man, come on, man. Are you wasting our time for this?" Yeah, they do snitch on themselves. Y'all wait, we gotta sit here and do jury duty over this. No, we gotta sit here and listen to women talk about how he asked them to do this and asked them to do that, and instead of leaving, they stood there and did it. Like, come on, man. You could have left. It's not like he forced you to stay and he inhibited you from leaving. And I'm not saying that, again, there weren't things that may have occurred, but there weren't things that were sexual assault-esque in it, like they're trying to make it seem. Because if that did happen, he would have been charged. But he wasn't charged because with all that testifying and all the quote-unquote evidence, they still said, you know what, we don't want to waste time. We got other cases. We got murder cases. We got robbery cases. We ain't got time for this. There are other cases that call our attention. Not this. Not some, I did some weird stuff. he asked me to do something weird, because that's what it seemed like. Some of the stuff I heard was just weird stuff he asked them to do. Again, they could have declined and said no, but they were thinking about that money. They were thinking about getting a big tip. They were not in any danger. He wasn't forcing them to stay. They could have left whenever they felt things were getting bad or weird, and they just stayed. I think some of them women were his masseuses, and he just didn't call them back and didn't do work with them, and they got mad. Women can be very hostile towards you if they feel like you don't want to help them out. A lot of these women probably live beyond their means. So that type of job as a masseuse, half them chicks probably got OnlyFans. How many of them chicks accusing him probably got OnlyFans pages? Because again, he found these women on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? He found these masseuses on Instagram. I bet more than half probably got OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? They probably got an OnlyFans. This is crazy. Shout out to Deshaun Watson. He's innocent. Get over it. Yeah, like they suing Tiger Woods. How can you sue a man for having sex outside of his marriage? Oh, you can do that in America, especially when you cheat on a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman. You cheating on this blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman while she's at home being a mother to your children, and you're cheating on her with porn stars? Oh, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay, and that's exactly what happened. I wouldn't have gave them heifers a dime. What you gonna sue me for? What you gonna sue me for? I wouldn't have gave you a goddamn thing. Now in North Carolina, you can sue somebody for cheating, but Tiger's wife never sued him. She just divorced him. But you're literally giving your side chicks millions of dollars. And by the way, one of the chicks went broke. I did a video on one of the chicks going broke. I think he gave her a couple million, maybe he gave her like 8 million he gave her. And she went broke, didn't invest the money, just spent the money. Struggling heifers out here looking for a quick, easy payday. A lot of these heifers are regressing, man. How you go from female empowerment, we're strong, we can do whatever men can do, we want equal pay, to that'll be $10 for the explicit pics. You got these females with their stay-at-home boyfriends making OnlyFans content, man. That's what a lot of modern women have been reduced to. You got you an education, but look where you've landed because of your low self-esteem, and you want to be attractive so badly that you went and got a fake ass sets, and then you wanted to hop on OnlyFans to sell your pictures with your stay-at-home boyfriend. But I thought you wanted equal opportunities. But y'all definitely not putting in the equal work. And again, I'm not hating on none of these women going to OnlyFans. Go get your money from these simps. Go get your money from these men that want to supplement and keep your lifestyle. You need a lot of these women should thank men. Y'all should be thanking men every single day for being interested in supplementing your lifestyle. No man that you've ever dated has done that, because a lot of you women date broke dudes. But the men that you would never want to date, those are the guys that are paying your bills, that are making a way for you and your children, not the men that you've dated. And not that feminist mindset, because that feminist mindset goes out the window when you need money. That's a fact. I think that's it for the call. Nobody else calling. But shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I appreciate y'all being here. was a good stream, man. This wasn't gonna be too long because again, it's Friday. I don't want y'all to sit up and listen to me, even though I probably could. But shout out to everybody, the moderators, the channel members. Go join the Patreon. Go to my website too. You know, I posted an article on my website today that is accompanied the video that I posted today. I'm going to do more of that. I used to do that before, and I kind of stopped. But I'm going to be posting more content to the website and Patreon as well. Y'all go over there and subscribe, man. And put this in. Hope y'all are doing good on this Friday. You know? Notice Justin Bieber got a race case nobody talking about. Well, you know, he doesn't have the look. He doesn't look like a black man. You know, he doesn't look like Deshaun Watson. That's probably why. He doesn't look like Deshaun Watson. If he looked like Deshaun Watson, it will be a different story if he actually looked like Deshaun Watson. Okay? Shout out to Zeke. Bro, you just don't know Friday streams be the best. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they could be. They definitely could be. You know, because you're more relaxed. You ain't got to work the next day. You know, I just be going in. You know, some of y'all probably didn't even know I did a stream like 2 days ago, and I put it on Patreon, and I put the stream clip up. You know, on YouTube, on this page, y'all go check the stream clip out about the Sierra prayer and how I think that a lot of women will never be able to live up to that, even though they say they do, you know, but they never really live up to it.
Bruh, you just don't know. Friday streams be the best.
Appreciate that, man. Well, this stream was definitely one of the best, you know, consistently. You know, I think I have great streams consistently. Well, that's just me, you know, saying that, you know, because I got to big myself up. Why not? But I appreciate y'all nonetheless, man. Listen, never let the media, never let Twitter dictate your life, man. Live your life the way that you want to, especially us as black men. Because we all we got out here, man. We are all we have. And they're going to come after us because they think we're divided and they think that we're weak and they think that we won't fight back. And we're an easy target for these weirdos. That's why we have to speak up about the things that are going on in society. Because if we don't, we're going to be picked off one by one because a lot of these dudes out here ain't strong. It ain't a lot of strong men out here. You think there are, but there aren't. A lot of these guys are not that strong. They're really not. A lot of these guys are weak. A lot of these guys, they want somebody to come save them. And they know that. I see grown men bow down to the pressure. You know, they side with policies and politics that will do nothing but destroy them. But they do it because they don't want to stand. They don't want to really stand for anything, you know? And they also want an easy access to these women. These same women that if given the opportunity, they will lie on you. I'm not saying they all do it, but it can happen. So just understand, man, we have to be able to know that we have to stand up for ourselves. No more of this bending the knee. No more of them being able to control our narrative. We control our narrative. We do. Nobody else does. And we will continue to because we are strong. And we're stronger, I believe, together. You see, when people come, you know what's crazy? You look at YouTube, right? It reminds me of the manosphere, in a sense. You know, you have the manosphere in itself, what it was, what I came into. Then you got the black manosphere, right? Why do you think women have gravitated towards one over the other? Because they see black men and they know that there are black men who are weak and who will crave their attention, their affection, right? But they won't navigate towards the other manosphere because they know that those guys have more of a principled mindset when it comes to women than some of these other guys. You know, and that's what I've just observed. You know, looking aside. You know, no more calls, man. I'm giving my closing monologue. Can I do that? Closing monologue, man. No calls right now. I appreciate it though. They go where they feel like they have an opportunity. Because listen, women don't just be a part of something. Women go into male groupings to take over. It's just that simple. You can either put them in their place or you can allow them in. And once you allow them in, they control the narrative. And I just hope some people understand that. Some won't. Some don't care, or some like whatever, you know. But you know, to me, it takes a lot for people to earn any type of leeway with me, especially when it comes to these women, because I don't do this for female attention. I never have. Women have gravitated towards me for whatever reason, but I've never done this simply to get the attention of a woman, because to me, women can be very much replaceable in life, especially if she doesn't have your ideology, you know? So I would just tell y'all, just be very careful, man. There's only one you, hopefully, because there's definitely only one me. There will never be another Jada Black. I appreciate y'all being here. Shout out to y'all. I will see y'all in the next one. Y'all have a very good and safe weekend. I'll see y'all in the next show. Y'all take care. Or in the next video.